Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. And, well, I decided I wanted to do the sequel to Silent Hill. Silent Hill Revelation 3D. Or just Silent Hill Revelation. This movie is confusing, and to try to keep up with the lore of the game and what they changed, a little bit more confusing, but I'll try to do my best. But also, so they did one of the things you should never do, although it didn't work for Resident Evil, and that's to have someone else direct it or have someone else be in charge. So instead of Christoph Gans, he was busy doing another movie, they brought in MJ Bassett, who decided, I'm going to look up stuff from the games, and I'm going to try to make it as accurate to the games as I can, which would mess up everything they did in the first one, but also they added other stuff that's changed. They retcon other stuff from the games as well. So they try to make it a little more faithful, but also retconning other stuff from the games and setting up another film, which we won't get. It's supposed to be like another game, but not really. So, one of the big problems is this was in development hell for 6 years before it came out. Right? And then you have the actress, Adelaide something or other, who plays the role of Heather, who is actually Sharon, who was in her 20s at this point. But, so there's already some confusion, because the first film was set in 2004. And they said this was supposed to be set 6 years after that, which would make it 2010. But Sharon was 9 in the previous film, which means that she would be 15 here. Though in this movie they mentioned that she was 11, which would mean that she's 17. But also, there's also conflicting stuff where it's like, this is 2000. There's other conflicting things. This is set in 2012, and they just said that whoever made the movie, the MJ Barrett, whatever her name was said it was 2006 because that's when the first one came out. You know, and didn't realize that was set in 2004. It's confusing. Well, it's also confusing when you don't know anything about the movie, and you turn it on and you got this blonde chick, and I'm like, okay, is this supposed to be Radha Mitchell now, or she's kind of young looking? What is this? No, because she has a dream. There's a whole bunch of stuff. They call her Heather, and then like she wakes up and Sean Bean is there, and that's another jump scare dream with this saw blade head, which turns out to be a reveal of something later that makes no sense, but we'll get to it. So Heather is Sharon. Now, Heather is from Silent Hill 3, but the way that Silent Hill 3 is a direct sequel to Silent Hill, the game. And the end of the Silent Hill game, Alessa or Cheryl gets reincarnated into a new baby, and that's Heather, and that's this. But here, it's just what had happened, as we find out, is that despite the fact that at the end of the last movie, Alessa and Sharon had fused together and were one, they're separated again, and she's now free in the real world because Rose used the medallion thingy to free her from Silent Hill. And Sean Bean, Christopher, now going by the name of Harry Mason, which was the character from the game that was supposed to be Rose. He's going by the name of Harry Mason to cover up, and she's Heather Mason. Problem is, Rose was a gender swap Harry Mason. So now you just complicated things. And they're hiding on the run because we find out that he killed someone who was attacking them, and now they're on the run for that. We find out later that it was a cult member. Now, how cult members leave to go to this world, we are told throughout the film that Alessa is the one that controls the other world. But unless she's unknowingly doing it, she keeps on going into the underworld, the other world. She doesn't have Alessa's powers, I don't know. But then the Blade Head, which we find out is a villain, and then the other cult member, if they're being let through, whatever. It's confusing. So she ends up going to school where she meets Jon Snow. Well, it's Kit Harington, but it's Jon Snow. And Jon Snow is playing Vincent. He's from the game. But in no one's surprise, he's nothing like the game. In the game, he was a cult leader and a creep. Or a weirdo. Guy with glasses in the head goes, hee. This version, it's Jon Snow, and he's sort of a good guy. There's also Detective Douglas, played by the Hydra guy from Ant-Man. I don't know the actor's name. He's in here. Alright, hold on. Martin Donovan plays Douglas Cartland, who was a private eye in the games as well, but I guess he was a little more creepier there, whereas here he's just kind of following around and not doing much. He was sent by Claudia, who was also from the game, and oh my god, her thing is so confusing, and it's Halloween 6 producer cut level of weird, but I like the producer cut, but not this. I don't know. Vincent Smith, that's Kit Harington's character. But anyway, so he is sent to try to find Sharon and to bring her there. But he gets second thoughts about this, and he ends up getting killed in the mall when she ends up going to meet Sean Bean at the mall. But he gets kidnapped. And again, how did they explain later with Kit Harington about how to do this with this tattoo thing on his chest to get him out of there, so that's what they're doing, but they kidnap him. My problem is they say that in order for her to come back, she has to go of her own free will. But I'm sorry, kidnap someone and do using blackmail is not of someone's own free will because they had no choice but to do it. I don't know. Kit Harington also reveals, or Jon Snow also, Vincent also reveals that he was sent to bring her there, and that he works for the cult. That's why he shows the thing. And it's later revealed that he is also Claudia's son. And then they revealed that Claudia was Christabella's sister, Alice Krige from the first film. But wait, if you remember correctly, Christabella said that Dahlia, Alessa's mother, was also her sister, which makes Heather, Sharon, Cheryl, whatever, Heather and Vincent cousins, but they're also love interests. Make it make sense to me. So what I mean about the Halloween 6 producer cut thing when they said that Michael impregnated his own niece, but still, ewy. Now, this would work if Heather was the reincarnated version, because it wouldn't be direct descendant. But because it is, they say she is the good part of Alessa, Also, like I said, they change the motivations of this cult. They also said it's 2 different cults now. But now, in the original film, Christabella's thing was that she burned Alessa as a witch because she was born out of wedlock. Here, they say, oh no, you're the vessel for another creature monster, which is from the games. So they're following the games, but that totally dismisses what they established in the first one. And it makes no sense. And it said that this was set forth by Christabella, which also makes no sense. You see my problem? I'm trying to figure this shit out. Also, Pyramid Head is somehow now Heather's protector. But the fact that tried to kill Rose and Sybil in the first one, now he's her protector, and I don't know why. Also, Pop-Tart jump scare. No, I'm serious. That happens. There's like a moment where she's in bed, and all of a sudden, pfft, that's earlier on in the film, but yes. She's looking at the creepy visuals, but there's way too much noisy jump scare sound things. Because, like, for some reason, horror filmmakers, when they're making crappy horror movies, you gotta put, they gotta do that, right? And they do that so much in this. And there's a horrible part in this movie, the mannequin shop, which also gives us to a point that makes no sense. So she goes to this mannequin shop and you get this horrible mannequin CGI thing. And she meets another girl there. I don't know if this girl is important to the games or not. I'm trying to think. Suki. It doesn't say that. And she says that her group of people took a wrong turn and ended up in Silent Hill. No, that's not how it works. You're only allowed to go into Silent Hill if you were meant to go there. Like in the first one, Alessa summoned Rose and Sharon. And in this one, they also summoned, wanted them to come there. So only if you're allowed to go there can you go there. So she didn't just walk into it. Also, I want to point out that because Jodelle Ferland had obviously gotten older, they recast her for the young version. And they tried to make her look the same, but it doesn't look the same, and it just... No. Yeah. Then we get Leonard Wolf, the grandfather of Vincent and the father of Claudia. And I guess Christabella and, I don't remember her freaking name. And Dahlia, I guess. And here it says the grandfather of Vincent. It doesn't say grandfather of Heather / It doesn't. No, they don't. Anyway, he's blind, and it's revealed that he has the other half of this medallion in him. When he puts it in, he becomes the monster version of the character from the game. And then all she has to do is take it back out, and he just melts. Right? They also retconned the gas mask people, where in the first one, they used them to protect themselves. In this one, it's, they can't breathe without the gas mask. Which, would be cool, would work if, we didn't see them without the masks in the first one. They retcon so much. I don't get it. So then we get this carousel, merry-go-round thing that, yes, from the top looks like the umbrella symbol from Resident Evil, but I don't know. And the evil version of Alessa shows up, and they fuse together again. And this we get another retcon where she's like, I sent you away to protect you. I didn't want you ever to come here. But you summoned her in the first one. But they fuse together, and then by a hug. We have a hug. And then she goes to face Claudia. And Claudia's like, I want the medallion. Okay. And when she touches it, she turns into Sawblade Face, which makes no sense because Sawblade Face kept showing up, popping up throughout the film. But she's just now turning into Sawblade Face. So make it make sense to me. I don't get it. And then you think, well, she's going to use her Alessa powers like last time and shove it up the pee hole and split it in half, right? No, because she's got a protector in this film. So here comes Pyramid Head. 'Cause I am the man who will fight for your honor. I'll be a hero you're dreaming of. Yeah, I don't know. He comes in there, he slices her head off, and they're safe. And everyone is safe now. They leave, and it seems like the ash is going away and it's changing. By the way, despite being all dilapidated in the first film, the buildings look pretty good here. And then Papa Sean Bean says, you know what, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to look for your mother. And she's like, I can go too. No, go away. No, I can do it on my own. And yes, a man looking for his wife is the plot of Silent Hill 2. I don't know if that's what they're planning on doing. They're setting up plots from 3 different Silent Hill games. But the ending of this sets up a version of Silent Hill 2 where it's Sean Bean looking for his missing wife. Why didn't she just have Sean Bean looking for his daughter in the first one? Then as they leave, they are picked up by someone called Travis Grady, who is a character from Silent Hill Origins. And he admits to knowing the town, which means that his story already happened or something. And then there is a thing with a bus and police, a prison bus and police heading towards Silent Hill, which sets up something from Silent Hill Downpour. That's 3 different games that were they going to try to squish 3 different games together? Plus, there's still leftover stuff that wasn't resolved from the plot of this movie. Like, the cops were looking for her, but they leave and go to Silent Hill before that can be resolved. So the cops are still looking for her as they leave. That was supposed to be set up in the 3rd film, but this movie went. And yeah, let's look it up, shall we? Let's see. The budget for this movie was $20 million. It made $55.9 million, which it means it made money back, but that's not enough to break even, I don't think. So no, did not do good. So much so that it took, this is 2012, 13 years to get a new one and return to Silent Hill, which looks like it's adapting the 2nd game because, yeah, based on the video game Silent Hill 2. And Christoph Gans is back, which means you can expect some retconning. Like, I don't know. So far, there's only 3 cast members listed. James Sunderland, which is the main character. Mary and Laura. I don't know. It's gonna adapt Silent Hill 2, I guess. So we got Silent Hill, which adapted the first game, but retconned a bunch of stuff. We have Silent Hill Revelations, which adapted Silent Hill 3 with some bunch of retconning. Now this is Return to Silent Hill, which is adapting Silent Hill 2. Probably with some retconning. Yay. I don't know. But I can guess that all the stuff they said at the end of this one is probably going to be ignored. It doesn't look like they're bringing any of the characters back. Oh, and Cineverse, who did the Terrifier films, plus is also doing the Silent Night, Deadly Night movie that's coming out. Maybe that. Doing Silent Night, Deadly Night, Return to Silent Hill, Airbud Returns. I thought that was a Disney movie. It's not Disney. And Wolf Creek Legacy, apparently. I don't know. I thought it was Toxic Avenger and a movie called Lesbian Space Princess, which is a cartoon. The things you kill. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, this was not so good. I'll just say it's not worth your time. Watch the first one. I mean, I appreciate trying to stick to the game lore, but when the first movie retcon a bunch of stuff, and then you're also retconning other stuff here, and then you don't even realize what you did with retconning certain things, like by saying that Claudia is Cristabella's sister, even though Cristabella said she was Dahlia's sister, which makes them related, but they're love interests. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, it's not worth your time. Just watch the first one. If you get a hankering, like you've watched the first one, you're like, well, I have to see what they do in a sequel. Go ahead, by all means. If you get in, if you get curious, go ahead. But otherwise, not worth your time. So what are your thoughts on Silent Hill Revelation? Let me know if so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.